Why the hell is the presidential election so close? Let's talk about it. Hi, my friends. So today I want to talk about politics. Pure, unadulterated politics. No legal stuff, no constitutional stuff, just politics. Now, if you disagree with anything that I have to say here today, or if you want to ask me a question or whatever, please leave a comment. I have a feeling I might make some of you angry with some of the things I'm going to say, and that's all right. We can have disagreements. As I said, leave a comment. So here's what I want to talk about. It is frustrating as hell to watch the presidential race unfold as it has. On the Republican side, you have a man who tried to overthrow the Republic, violate the Constitution more egregiously than any other president in American history, incite a violent insurrection to overthrow the Republic and install him for another term despite having lost the election. He has been adjudicated liable for raping a woman and then defaming her. He was found liable for defaming her twice. He owes her hundreds of millions of dollars. He stole classified government documents. He obstructed justice. He committed any number of crimes in his attempt to steal the election and overthrow the Republic. He's charged with 4 criminal indictments, nearly 90 felony counts. He is facing time in prison if convicted on these things. The potential sentences total over 500 years. Anyone else who had done a fraction of what this man has done would already be in prison. Yet this man is running for president. On top of that, he's a racist. He is a sexist. He is batshit crazy. He is clearly suffering from any number of mental diseases and personality disorders, malignant narcissism. If you watch the podcast Shrinking Trump, which I recommend that you do, they go into the obvious signs of his dementia, which are clear for all to see. He is a liar, a pathological liar. He lies about everything. Small things, big things, literally everything. This man lies as he breathes. And yet, the presidential election is, a dead heat. Now, there are reasons, and I've posted videos about my skepticism of some of the polling. I have a hard time believing some of this, but let's just, for argument's sake, assume that the race is roughly even. We are nearly in June. The election is just months away. The man has been on trial for the last month. Criminal trial for filing fraudulent business documents with the state of New York in order to cover up hush money payments that he made to a porn star that he was cheating on his wife with. His wife was at home with their newborn son. This man has an abysmal character, which has been demonstrated over decades of his life. And yet he is the hero of the religious right. I mean, none of this makes any freaking sense. Sometimes I wonder, is this even real? Am I awake? Or is this some sort of ridiculous nightmare in Bizarro World? It just makes no sense. He does or says something, or we find out something new about him nearly every single day. Any one of these things, that sentence sounded garbled, any one of those things would have ended the career of a politician just, not long ago. And in fact, it would end the career of politicians today. Politicians whose name isn't Trump. What is it about this fucking guy? I don't get it. Just makes no sense. Now, here's what I want to talk about with the politics. I believe, as I know many of you believe, and we'll talk about this more in the upcoming videos, that if Donald Trump wins, this constitutional republic as it has existed for over 200 years is over. It is over. Because of the things that he will do, and for one of the most important things that he will do. The reason Donald Trump wants to be president so bad, again, is to stay out of prison. I don't even believe that he would have run. It doesn't matter, no one will ever know. But I don't believe he would have run if he wasn't worried about going to prison. Because Donald Trump had successfully convinced half the country that he won the last election, that it was stolen. But he knows it wasn't. He knows he lost. And he hates being a loser. Right? It's the worst thing. Well, he convinced everyone, or his people, that he didn't in fact lose. So, he had that. But what happens if he runs and he loses again? How do you convince them all that you lost again? Now, I'm sure they'll still believe it. But the point is, I didn't think, because he didn't really, I don't think he actually enjoyed doing the work of president. He didn't really do the work of president. He did nothing. And there's lots of reasons. I don't think he would have run again. Okay? I don't think he wanted to take the chance of losing again and being a two-time loser and all of that. I think the reason he's running is to stay out of prison. And if he wins, for the same reason, he will never leave office. He will do whatever he thinks he has to stay in office for the rest of his life because he doesn't want to go to prison. Now, he can make these cases go away, right? If he wins, he can order the Department of Justice to drop the Mar-a-Lago stolen documents case and the J6 case, right? He can fire Jack Smith and order that those cases be dismissed. But you know what? When he leaves office in 4 years, if he were to leave office, he could be indicted again for those same exact charges. As long as the statute of limitations hadn't run, and it won't run by then, those charges, he could be indicted again. There's no double jeopardy because the case never went to a jury. So jeopardy never attached. Well, I guess we're talking about law a little bit. So jeopardy never would have attached. So even if he has those indictments against him dismissed, he could be re-indicted for those exact same charges. So he's still facing the possibility of prosecution when he leaves office. Same thing with the Georgia RICO case against him. If that case gets put on hold, he can't dismiss that, but he may get it put on hold if he wins again. But as soon as he leaves office, that case goes right back on the trial docket. So he's facing criminal conviction there. And God only knows what other crimes he will commit over the next 4 years. And as sure as he breathes and lies, he will commit more crimes. So he will have more criminal exposure 4 years from now than he does today. And so he will want to hold on to power at all cost. He will absolutely destroy the Constitution, our rule of law, whatever he has to do in order to remain in power. I don't think he will take the chance of election unless it's completely rigged in his favor. I don't know what exactly he will do, but I know he is capable of anything. And so he will absolutely destroy this republic for that reason alone, but for others as well, if he is reelected. That is my honest, complete, truthful belief. I am not being hyperbolic. I am not exaggerating. I honestly believe this. And so this is, without question, the most important election of any of our lifetimes. I know people say that every single friggin' presidential election. That is the most important election. This really is. Certainly of anyone's lifetime who is alive today, the only election that may arguably be, on the same ballpark as importance is Abraham Lincoln. But that's it. This is the most important election we will ever have in our lifetime. If we get it wrong, if Donald Trump is reelected, country's done. What replaces the constitutional democracy, the constitutional republic? And by the way, let me just throw this in, and I'm going to do a video about this again. All these damn Trump cultists out there, for some reason they like to say that we're a republic, not a democracy. These people are so breathtakingly stupid. A republic is a democracy. A republic is a form of democracy. There is no pure democracy. That would be chaos, where the people vote on every single issue that happens. No, that doesn't happen anywhere. A republic is a democracy. What do they think all the voting is about, these friggin' morons? Anyway, what will replace our constitutional republic? I'm not exactly sure. It will be some hellish version of a Trump autocracy. The exact contours of that, God willing, we never find out, but I couldn't tell you. So if we get this wrong, that is what awaits. That's how big the stakes are. And so when I'm looking at this election, and then I see these polls, to the extent they can be believed, and even if they're wrong, I mean, I don't think they're wildly wrong. Like, even if they're wrong in favor of Trump to some degree, the truth is not that Biden is up by 15 points. That's certainly not the truth. So I don't know exactly let's just assume that they're roughly correct. This is roughly an even race. How the hell can that be? How the hell can that be? And now here's the stuff that's probably going to make some of you mad. There is a good deal to blame. There's a good deal of blame to be laid at the feet of President Biden and his campaign. Now, not completely. We have a lot of reasons that go into this. Chief among them is the rank stupidity and lack of caring by the American people. I mean, there are people don't follow this at all. They couldn't care less. And a lot of them, to the extent they follow politics at all, it is purely for the entertainment. I mean, I am convinced that a lot of Donald Trump's support comes because they think he's entertaining. Like this is some big fucking joke. Anyways, the American people, their unseriousness, their ignorance is a huge problem. The media is a huge problem. I mean, just think in years past. Like I said, Donald Trump does or says something, or we learn something about him every single day that would have ended the careers of people in the past. That any one of these things would have created a media feeding frenzy until the person was drummed out of office or, ended their campaign. I mean, look at Al Franken. He was run out of office, forced to resign, because there was a picture from decades earlier when he was touring as a comedian where he put his hands over the breasts of a sleeping woman. Don't believe he was touching her at all, just took a picture like that. Man had to resign from the Senate. Okay? Countless other examples. Donald Trump freaking raped a woman. A jury found him liable for that. The judge said that although this particular statute in New York calls it sexual assault or something, I don't think it was sexual assault, but whatever. It didn't call it rape. The judge in that case said, in the common tongue, what the jury found Donald Trump liable for is commonly referred to as rape. The judge said Donald Trump is a rapist. He raped a woman. He defamed her. He committed all these crimes. Al Franken picture out of the Senate. So many others have been drummed out of office because of the media feeding frenzy. What does our media do covering Donald Trump and all his crimes? Nothing. Nothing. Can you imagine someone else who had been adjudicated as a rapist? The media would be harping on this every single freaking... Nothing. It's crickets. The crimes he's charged with, nothing from the media. They just act, they cover Trump like he's just a normal candidate. So the media, a lot of blame. But what is Biden and his campaign doing? I know they're not doing nothing. But from my vantage point, from what I'm seeing precious freaking little that they're doing. Let me pull up something I saw this morning. Got my laptop here. Damn thing went to sleep. Hold on. All right. Here's polling data out on the economy, the American people's perception of the economy. 2/3 of Republicans and 1/2 of Democrats say that the United States is currently in a recession. A recession. What planet are these people living on? The economy has grown more than 3% for the last year. We've gone over 4 years without recession. The unemployment rate is historically low. Of course, we have problems in the economy. Inflation is still a problem. There's reasons for this. And none of those are Joe Biden. Joe Biden is responsible for the price. How many times do you hear people say, "Oh, I'm going to vote for Trump because gas price was lower when he was president"? Number one, are these people that stupid that they think the president sets the price of gas or the price of a gallon of milk at the grocery freaking store? The answer is yes. A lot of them really are that stupid. I mean, they think the president is like an omnipotent king, an all-powerful, controls everything. What are these people? These people shouldn't be voting, but they do. So the stock market is booming. So the reality is the economy is in fantastic shape. Yes, it has problems, for sure. When has the economy ever been perfect? This doesn't exist. There's always problems in the economy. Maybe interest rates are too high, inflation, whatever. There's always problems to some degree or another in the economy. But generally speaking, the economy is doing great right now. It's getting better every day. Certainly better than when Biden took office. And yet, a majority of the American people, 2/3 of Republicans, well, fuck Republicans, but a half of the Democrats, 50% of Democrats, believe that the economy is in recession? Why the hell is that? Well, some of it is like the stupidity we've talked about, the media they don't say the good news. To the extent they cover the economy at all, it's to complain about inflation. That's the only economic news you ever hear from the media, by and large, is inflation coverage. You never hear about the booming stock market. I remember when Trump was fucking president, the media covered the stock market every single freaking day. Every time the stock market ticked up a point, the media was trumpeting it. It's crickets with Biden. So from the media, the American people only get negative economic news. And of course, from the Republican attack machine, they've been going against the economy full throttle. But here's the problem. What the hell is Biden and the Biden campaign doing to counteract any of that? Virtually nothing. Virtually nothing. Now, I made a comment like that on Twitter this morning, and someone sent me a tweet from the Biden campaign that said something about how the economy was good or something. And they're like, "This doesn't look like nothing to me." I'm like, it's a tweet. It's a fucking tweet with 11,000 likes. We have a country of 330 million people, and you think a fucking tweet is a big deal. No. Okay, some tweets, some little, press announcements that the press doesn't actually cover. Fine. Like I said, he's not doing nothing, but he's sure as hell not doing very much. Why isn't he on TV? Why isn't he making... He's got the bully pulpit. He doesn't use it. You know, Donald Trump... Imagine if Donald Trump were president now with this same exact economy. He would be bragging about it every single day. He'd be bragging about the booming stock market. He'd be bragging about how inflation is coming down. He'd be bragging about the low unemployment. He'd be bragging about all of these things, the growth in the economy. He'd be bragging every single day. What does Biden and the Biden campaign do? Nothing. Nothing. I hear nothing. Okay, oh, a little tweet here, a little tweet there, a little 30-second Facebook ad here or there. That's not enough, people. Okay, and this is what I'm saying. Some of you might get mad at me. I can't see. This is why I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm an independent. I don't get caught up in the personalities and you got to defend your side. I want to save the republic, not just, you know, mindlessly say, oh, Biden's the greatest. Everything he does is great. I'm not going to do that. He's blowing it is what he's doing. Now, I don't know what the strategy here is. Maybe he's, you know, the Biden campaign is saying, oh, we're going to wait until the election is closer and then we're going to do it. You know, it's going to be an onslaught of negative ads against Donald Trump and positive ads Biden. And who knows? Maybe that's their plan. But you know what? If you wait too long, the onslaught is not going to help you. At some point, it's too late. We're getting pretty damn late. We're almost in the summer before the election. People are making up their minds. They're going to have their first debate next month. Okay? What are you waiting for? You know, somebody on Twitter said to me, when I was talking about this stuff this morning, that Joe Biden campaigns like it's 1996. And my response to him was, I wish Joe Biden was campaigning like it was 1996. You know, 1996, when Bill Clinton was running for re-election against Bob Dole, he was out ripping Bob Dole and congressional Republicans every single day. When Bill Clinton became president, Democrats controlled both houses of Congress. In 1994, Republicans swept control of the House of Representatives, first time in 40 years. Newt Gingrich became Speaker. And from day one, before Newt Gingrich even got the gavel, Bill Clinton was attacking him and Republicans every single day. Every single day. And then as soon as it was, you know, clear that Bob Dole was going to be the nominee of the Republican Party, Bill Clinton was out there going after him every single day. He beat the hell out of him before Bob Dole even got out of the gate. He didn't wait till 2 months before the election or whatever the hell the Biden administration or the Biden campaign is doing. Same with Barack Obama in 2012 when he was running for re-election. As soon as it was clear that Mitt Romney was going to be the nominee, Barack Obama was pummeling him every single day. He didn't wait till the end of the campaign. So I wish that Joe Biden was campaigning like it was 1996. He's campaigning like it's not even an election year. That's how he's campaigning. I don't know what their strategy is. Is it that they think the American people are just going to figure it out on their own? I got news for you. They're not. Any political campaign strategy that assumes that the American people are smart and engaged and well-informed is a losing campaign strategy. Now, you don't go out there and tell them they're all idiots, but you better run a campaign assuming that they're all a bunch of idiots, because a majority of them are. So treat them like the fucking morons that they are. You need to explain everything to them over and over and over again. Right now, there's a vacuum on the left. Biden campaign's doing virtually nothing. The only people talking is Trump and his people. And they're just saying the economy's terrible, Joe Biden's, you know, this, that, and the other. There's no counter. Donald Trump used to get in front of the camera. Whenever he had an opportunity, he'd stop in front of that camera and he'd brag about how good the economy was or brag about whatever it was he wanted to brag. And normally they were lies, but he was out there selling himself every single day. On the way to the helicopter, he'd stop in front of the press. And how often do you see Joe Biden speaking to the press on his way to a helicopter or on his way to anywhere? Hardly ever. Trump did it virtually every freaking day. Selling himself every single day. Biden campaign doesn't sell shit. That's a main point. Now, we can't do anything about the friggin' media. We can't do anything about the lies from the right and all that stuff. But the Biden campaign sure as hell can control what they do, and they're not doing anything. Well, virtually nothing. Certainly not enough. Joe Biden should be up 10, 15 points right now. There has never been in all of American history, and I mean all of American history, any presidential candidate with as much baggage as Donald Trump, with as much ammunition as there is to use against Donald Trump. There's never been a candidate in history who had more. Joe Biden is in the position of having more ammunition to use against Donald Trump than any other candidate in history has ever had to use against another candidate. And what is he doing with it? Nothing. What the hell are they waiting for? And if you, like I said, you cannot assume that the American people are well informed or intelligent. They are neither. You have to assume that they are ignorant and stupid, because they are. You cannot assume, for example, that they are aware that Donald Trump was adjudicated guilty of having raped a woman. Most Americans do not know that. I know you know it, and I know it. And, people who follow politics all the time know it. But in a presidential election, people come out of the woodwork who don't pay attention to politics, who don't vote except for a presidential election year. They don't pay attention to any of this stuff. They don't follow the news. If it's not on their TikTok feed, they don't know about it. There are millions, I guarantee you, tens and tens of millions of Americans who have no idea Trump was adjudicated of rape. No idea. They know nothing about his criminal charges. If they know anything at all, it's very, very little. They don't know any of this stuff. Where is the Biden campaign telling them this? If it continues like this, you are going to have tens of millions of Americans go to the polls and vote in a contest between Donald Trump and Joe Biden, and they won't even know that Donald Trump has been indicted for crimes, has been adjudicated guilty of raping a woman. They won't know anything about the fraud, the $500 million he owes. They won't know about the 4 indictments and the 88 criminal charges. They won't know about any of this. All they'll know is, oh, well, Donald Trump really is a character. He's super entertaining. I don't know if I like him, but he's entertaining. Or they might believe these lies that the economy is in the toilet because that's the only thing they're hearing. And God forbid the price of gas is high at the time of election, and they blame the president as if Joe Biden controls the price of gas. These people are morons. And if you do not tell them this stuff, they won't know it. I'm talking to you right now. I'm recording this on my phone. This little device that everybody has access, gives us all access to more information than any people have ever had in the history of the world. And yet most of the people who have these things don't know a damn thing about anything. Okay? They know about what their favorite TikTok people are doing, or YouTube, or whatever the hell they watch. They know about that garbage. They know what's on Netflix. But do you think they know anything about the powers of the presidency? Any of that? Basic civics? No, they don't know nothing. Do you think they know about Trump's race? No, they know nothing. They know nothing. Because everybody curates their own little information bubble now. Nobody reads a paper. They're not watching the evening news. Okay? They go on their little social media apps and they see only what the apps show them. And if they liked some cat dancing video, guess what? TikTok's going to just show them 1 million cat dancing videos. And that's all they'll do. They'll just be fat and happy watching their cat videos all day. You think there's going to be news about Donald Trump's rape in there? No. They're not going to throw Donald Trump's rape in between the dancing cat videos. No, that's all they're going to see. And so whatever it is that people do to mindlessly waste their lives away on their little smartphones, they're just going to see more of that. They're not going to be exposed to anything that matters in terms of voting. And then they're going to go to the voting booths with absolutely no information about anything relevant, and they're going to cast a completely uninformed vote. And the entire future of our republic will be in the hands of these blithering idiots who spend all their time watching this thing, whatever garbage nonsense they're watching, and they'll cast a completely uninformed vote. And from what I can tell, the Biden campaign is doing virtually nothing to reach those people and to inform them and educate them. And you can't wait till the last minute. It takes time to reach these morons, and they got to hear it over and over and over again to get it drilled into their head before they understand any of it. You can't just wait till the last few weeks of the campaign or a couple months of the campaign. It's too late by then. You'll never reach them all in that amount of time, or you won't reach them enough in that amount of time to make a difference. So that's why I'm so freaking frustrated. And I'll say this too, and this is going to make some of you mad, and like I said, you disagree with me, leave a comment. Joe Biden never should have run again. I'm going to vote for Joe Biden. I'm going to do everything I can to get him elected. Not because I love Joe Biden, but because I know what the stakes are. So I want Joe Biden to win. I'm not trash talking Joe Biden because I want him to lose. I wish somebody from the campaign would hear people like me and wake the fuck up. But he never should have run again. I'm sorry. I don't think he has dementia. I think he is capable of doing the job, but he is not capable of being a good candidate. They're different skill sets. I believe he's capable of understanding the information, knowing it, being in meetings, making decisions, doing the job of president. He's done a fairly good job. I think he is capable of it. But he is not up to the challenge of being a good, dynamic, energetic candidate. He's just not. The man's over 80 years old. He shouldn't run again. Well, whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He shouldn't run again, though, is my point. I think we'd be in, if we had a young, dynamic, energetic candidate, and there are many on the Democrat side who fit that bill, I don't think the election would be looking anything like it is right now. On top of the fact, you can't blame that person for the economy, even though Biden isn't responsible for it, to the extent that it's bad anyway, and it's really not. But if people believe that the economy's bad, well, and it's all Biden's fault, well, if Biden's not the one running, how can you blame that person? Whatever. You would take that arrow out of their quiver. And I think that if you had a young, energetic Democrat candidate, like I said, there's many of them, I think they would be destroying Donald Trump right now. Absolutely kicking his ass. We didn't need to be in this position. And I'm sorry, but I think it was selfish of President Biden to run again. Anyway, but, like I said, that makes you mad. If you disagree, maybe you can convince me. I'm open to stuff, and if you convince me that I'm wrong about anything I'm saying here, I will come on here and admit that I think I was wrong. This person changed my mind. I've been persuaded. But I'm just frustrated beyond belief. And I'm not saying I think he's going to lose. But I'm saying that it shouldn't be this friggin' close. We should not be all biting our nails, worried. Is our constitutional republic almost over? We shouldn't be worried about that right now. Donald Trump should be so far down in the polls. The only thing that should be talked about in politics right now, aside from Donald Trump's criminal trial, which gets very little coverage, not nearly what it should, the political conversation that should be taking place right now is, should the Republicans dump Donald Trump as their nominee at the convention. Because he's not officially the nominee yet. He simply won enough delegates to become the nominee. He won't become the nominee until he's officially nominated at the convention in July. And they can choose to dump him and nominate someone else at that convention. That's what the conversation should be about right now. Trump should be so far down in the polls, facing a possibility of being a convicted felon next week, as early as next week. They should be talking about, how do we get rid of him? Should we dump him at the convention? That should be the talk. But instead, we're talking about how the economy's terrible, even though it's not. We're talking about how the election's tied or Donald Trump is ahead in all the swing states. What the fuck? We shouldn't be here. We should not be here. This is insane. Like I said, I got to pinch myself sometimes. Is this real? This can't be real. But sadly, apparently it is. So I hope someone from the Biden campaign listens to people like me and reassesses. I mean, I really hope to God they have a killer strategy. And even if they do, you wait too long to implement it, then it's not a killer strategy. Timing is important, and the clock is ticking, and we're running out of fucking time here. We're running out of time very, very quickly. So I don't know what the hell they're waiting for. Anyway, they need to get off their asses and start campaigning like the future of the country is at stake, because it is. Anyway, again, comment. Please leave comments. If you're a nasty Trump troll or personal insults, I just block you from the channel. So you'll have one shot at it. You want to leave a nasty comment, go for it, but it'll be quickly, taken down and you'll be blocked from ever commenting again. But for serious people, disagree all you want, that's fine with me. You don't have to, oh, Mark, you're great. I agree with everything you say. I don't need that. Challenge me if you think I'm wrong. Make me feel better. If I'm wrong about this, I would like to be wrong about this, believe you me. So if you can make me feel better about this, I would appreciate it. So leave a comment. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. Give it a thumbs up. Recommend it if you would to family and friends. And I'd appreciate you helping me grow the channel in that way. So that's it. Thank you so much for listening. Be well and take care. I'll talk to you again soon.